Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern, and this is another step in my quest alongside subscriber Spunky to find a playable blue control deck in the Modern format. Over the last couple weeks on the channel, I've played blue-white, Jeskai, a couple different flavors of Jeskai actually, and all of them felt just a little short, just a little off, not quite interacting on all the axes that you need in Modern. And then we started running into this deck, which made all of those other decks feel completely unplayable. This is Grixis Lurrus. And this is a list that was originally posted by Gerry Thompson in a Star City Games article. And then Daryl Ayers made this Twitter thread where he was like, hey, I'm 20-0 with this Gerry Thompson deck. And here's a thread, all my thoughts about it. So he made a bunch of thoughts about where the list could go, where it fits in the current metagame. And this thing got some traction. It's got 37 retweets on this bad boy. So the MTGO grinders know about this list. And that's why I probably started running into it twice in a league. And for good reason. This deck is insanely good. The Dragon's Rage Channeler and Ragavan combo needs no introduction at this point. Modern Horizons 2 has been out almost 2 months at this point. We know about these cards. They are very good. They both are 1-drops that generate pressure early, and they both generate, if not card advantage, certainly card selection. Ragavan is on the card advantage and mana advantage side of things, and then Dragon Rage Channeler generates card selection, which if you play Legacy, you know that Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordain, you know, all those cards that are banned in this format, card selection is worth a lot. And this one, instead of going straight up the curve with the Turbo Mill into Murktide Regent the way the blue-red deck does, there's interaction in Thoughtseize. Drown in the Loch is an insane card that you get, and people in Modern are trying to fill their graveyards up right now for various reasons, mostly Murktide Regent. So Drown in the Loch is big there. Expressive Iteration, this card changed the Legacy format. I've seen it in Vintage, and this is a Grixis Control Modern deck that gets to play it. For Snapcaster Mage to do it all again. And then this careful smattering of specific answers to the format. Like, there's one Croxa in the main deck for when you have to win the game, because you're going to have to do that eventually. One Terminate and one Seal of Removal. Those are specifically for Murktide Regent. I mean, they hit other things too, but they are tailor-made for Murktide Regent. Lurrus with Seal of Removal, you get to replay the seal every turn, so Murktide Regent can never stick as long as you have your Lurrus. You can also Seal of Removal your Snapcaster Mage if you want to Thoughtseize something. So Seal of Removal is a pretty cool piece of technology. 3 Kolaghan's Command, back from the grave. This card was the hottest card in Modern and Legacy for a while. Then it sort of fell off, got outclassed by other stuff, but it's back. And the old Snapcaster Mage Kolaghan's Command interaction, which is you cast Kolaghan's Command, you cast Snapcaster Mage, block in combat, Kolaghan's Command, pick up the same Snapcaster Mage you just blocked with. Like, there's loops with Snapcaster Mage and Kolaghan's Command that if you've been playing non-rotating formats for a while, I'm sure you're familiar with. But powerful stuff. Every card in this deck generates some sort of advantage, and eventually Lurrus is looming to just shut the door once we get into a grindy situation. And the sideboard is full of things targeted at the current metagame. Aether Gust is primarily for Titan decks. Daryl mentioned that Amulet and Burn are the only scary matchups. So there's no surprise that he's got some sideboard for that. I'm actually going to add an Alpine Moon to this sideboard before I start this league. The reason I want Alpine Moon is this is good against the Saga decks. If you name Urza Saga with Alpine Moon, the Urza Sagas just die. They don't even stay in play as a 5-mana land or a 5-color land. And you can name Valakut against some Titan decks. You can name or whatever you're worried about out of Amulet against other Amulet decks. So Alpine Moon as a 1-up has a lot of utility in Modern right now. This is something that Daryl mentioned he has played with and would play exactly one if he played any at all in that Twitter thread. So I do want to make room for that. I think that card's really good right now. And Chalice of the Void. Obviously, we're a deck full of 1-drops, but the bet here is that it's going to be worse for them than it is for us. The the Is It version of this deck. I guess it's not really this deck. It's a totally different deck. The Is It Dragon's Rage Channeler Ragavan decks. They have something like 31 drops in them. So we're going to bet on twos and threes and try to beat them that way. And then a lot of graveyard hate. Nile Spellbomb and Dauthi Voidwalker. Even the fair decks now, because of Murktide Regent and stuff like that, are unfair decks. Like Lurrus, Murktide Regent, everyone's using their graveyard right now, so just having ways to mess with that is good. Engineered Explosives, repeatable removal with Lurrus, clears out those Saga constructs, and that's the deck. So I know this deck is good. Let's see if I can do it justice. Let's go play this thing. I'm on the play in game number 1, and I've revealed my Lurrus. So this hand's pretty slow and reactive. It doesn't have any of the 1-drops. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be mulling to a 1-drop like I'm a Delver deck, and I don't think that I am. Like, this is a pretty good Grixis Control hand right here, and I'm going to roll with it for now. I'm going to lean on Bloodstained Mire because if I want to fetch Basic Mountain, like if they are just like a Burn Goblin Guide deck, alright, they're clearly not that. So I suspect they're going to take Expressive Iteration because that's the card that outpaces Inquisition of Kozilek. But I played the Bloodstained Mire so I could still fetch Island Swamp if I need basic lands and if I needed to kill a Goblin Guide without taking 2 damage there. Just as long as you don't... Anything that casts Lightning Bolt without taking damage, the Scalding Tarn's also fine in that spot. I'm going to grab Steam Vents. Alright, Terminate. So I don't think I want to Expressive Iteration right now. I could hit Mishra's Bauble and get the full 2 cards, but I think I'd rather wait a turn and get my land drop live off of it. And if they just strip it with discard right now, that kind of sucks. But just spewing it off as a 1-for-1 isn't that great either. Okay, so they played Watery Grave. Alright, I didn't get Shadow of Doubted. That's good news. So they can Drown in the Lock here if they want to. I could just leave up Snapcaster Mage and pass the turn, but I'm gonna cast my card. Okay, so choose one of them to put in your hand. This is actually the first time I've resolved Expressive Iteration on Magic Online, believe it or not. So one of these goes into my hand. I'm gonna put Drown in the Lock in my hand. Put one of them on the bottom, that's Lightning Bolt, and then exile one of them, that's Blackcleave Cliffs. Then I get to play my land for the turn, which is Blackcleave Cliffs, and cast Mishra's Bauble, the full 2-mana Divination there. And I'm going to bauble them in their upkeep, so I won't have the card in my hand when they go to their turn. This is a way to play around discard. I get punished if they have, like, Narset, but I'd be surprised if they have that card. I haven't seen that one in Modern in years. So Dauthi Voidwalker dies to this plethora of removal in my hand. Something like Liliana the Veil would be kind of a bummer. Alright, well, there she is. Always there. So we're both going to discard cards. I think I discard the land. I discard land, they have Abrupt Decay. So I'm going to Bolt, then Snap Bolt Liliana, probably. Oh, no attack. Interesting. Oh, the Ragavan. Yep. Good reason not to attack. So, Lightning Bolt Liliana in the end step. Then I can Snap Bolt. Wow. That was so smart that they didn't attack with Ice Fang Coatl. So, I guess now the question is, do I care about this Liliana? Can I outmaneuver them without it? Like, if I Inquisition them, Liliana pluses. I have Snap Bolt eventually. Yeah, I'm just going to Inquisition them. Change of plans. Back up Liliana. I'll take the second one. So Voidwalker, land, Bloodchief Thirst is their hand right now. I can't play the Ragavan here, so... Alright. Bloodchief Thirst is a sorcery. Dauthi Voidwalker has Shadow, so it can't block Ragavan. Like, if they plus, and then I end step, remove Ice Fang Coatl, I'll be able to dash in. Though, they're gonna get whatever this card is off of Voidwalker, unless I destroy it first. So, how do I want to play this? I don't think I want to just let them have my Terminate off of Voidwalker, but I lined up this whole plan to remove Liliana. So I think I'm going to have to just let them have the Terminate. Alright, so Terminate is exiled. If I knew I was drawing a land, I could destroy the other creature and then just take them all out, but that is not what I have. Alright, blue-black, please don't have drawn a relevant card. Alright, Unholy Heat's gas. LOL, gas. That's where the heat is from. Alright, so dash Ragavan, take out Liliana. Can't block because of Shadow. And I have the Unholy Heat to finish off this Voidwalker. Pick up Ragavan. Uh-oh, they're fetching. They're just fetching. Bang. Tell me about the heat. Alright, so now they have 2 cards in their hand. We know one of them isn't a spell, or isn't a spell they could cast last turn. Ooh, that's a good one. Ah, they hit the Fatal Push. Brick City. Okay. We needed that to fail. Alright, so both my cards in my hand are good, but yeah, they definitely take Snapcaster Mage here. That's the one that can actually answer Shardless Agent in a meaningful way. So I could put Lurrus in my hand, or I could cast Ragavan here, and I think I want Lurrus. It's got a Fade discard for a turn. There it is. Alright. Time for the companion to pay out. Okay, they played a land. That's good. And they can't attack because of Ragavan. Alright, that's good. I'm actually just going to cast Ragavan and leave up Drown in the Lock. I guess I could have dashed Ragavan because Lurrus can just cast it next turn. That was questionable. Alright, yeah. Blue-black, counter that. Lurrus is more important than anything else that's going on. I didn't have a 1-drop to play last turn, so now I'm just trying to get paid. So this will trade, and then Lurrus can replay it. Black, black, another. Oh, I had Mishra's Bauble last turn. I guess that's a pretty good one. That's like kind of the whole thing with Lurrus. Alright, so Liliana doesn't matter. Okay, so they can snap Abrupt Decay and remove Lurrus. That was a pretty good answer. So Lurrus isn't going to just run away with this, but I do have Kroxa, and this Ragavan will clear the Snapcaster. Alright, yep, Lurrus is gone, but Kolaghan's Command can pick it back up. There are 2 more of those in the deck. Do I want to fire in Ragavan and trade off with Snapcaster, or is it better off? I mean, my deck's full of removal, so I'll just fire in the Kroxa. So they take 3, and Kroxa is looming for next turn. And I'm going to pass the turn because they have Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes in their deck. And if they have Liliana, they're going to minus her anyway. Lightning Bolt's a great draw. Oh, Unholy Heat, count it. So I go for Kroxa first. Red, red, black, black. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to be careful because I am a Lurrus deck and a Kolaghan's Command deck and a Snapcaster Mage deck. Alright, so Kroxa resolves. Whatever that one card in their hand is gone now. Assassin's Trophy. Alright, fair enough. I'll use the ability. Get a Swamp. And they take damage anyway. And then I play the Unholy Heat and get in with Rag. Oh, this is nasty. Ragavan flipped an island. Okay, here we are. They have to beat a Ragavan and a Kroxa. Shardless Agent. That's 2 cards sometimes. They hit Thoughtseize. These agents have been bad. And they cast it. That must have been a misclick. Or they just knew they were dead and were being funny. I don't know. Wow. So my opponent played 2 Shardless Agents and a Snapcaster Mage that game, and they were still just miles behind on cards and board. Like that's big. This deck is cool. So Chalice of the Void, they seem to be a fair Shardless Agent deck. Like, they're not going to have Rhinos or Ancestral Visions. I imagine Ancestral Visions is in the deck, but See the Truth is an alternative Ancestral Visions, which dodges Chalice entirely. I don't think I want to bring in Chalice just in case they have Ancestral Vision. So that's a no. We saw Dothy Voidwalker, so they have Graveyard Hate in the main. Alpine Moon doesn't matter. Kozilek's Return probably doesn't matter. Do any of these cards matter? Voidwalker, if I can Voidwalk them back, that would be pretty cool. Having shadow creatures to interact with their shadow creatures is nice. I suspect that this game will devolve into a top deck war sooner than later, so the discard spells get worse. Just try to beat the board. Nile Spellbomb. Yeah, they did have Snapcaster Mages, so I do want Spellbombs more than Inquisitions. Spellbombs are also cards you can just sit and play. Like, to play around Liliana and discard spells, you can just put Spellbomb into play, and then eventually pay a black to draw a card off it. And do I want this last Inquisition out, or is 1 still fine? Engineered Explosives. I would have to take it up to 3. Play the second Croxa, but we've seen the Voidwalkers. I could have Flusterstorm in, but that doesn't fight Liliana. Yeah, I think I like this where it is. Though I can play Engineered Explosives on 3 and remove a Liliana. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Look at this hand. Wow. Just so reactive. I don't know if reaction is really where I want to be in the matchup, but like I'm not gonna mulligan in this discard matchup trying to find a 1-drop. Is there any reason to play the Polluted Delta? I guess I could just shock in Seal of Removal. Just put that card into play, have it there, where they can't discard it. Not that Seal of Removal is great against Shardless Agent, but it could save some beats from a Dothy Voidwalker. Alright, I'm gonna play Blood Crypt. I should have played my Bloodstained Mire. Whoops. Do I leave up Terminate? Yeah, alright. I should have played Bloodstained Mire. I thought in my head I had like 1 split second where I was like, I'm not gonna play any spells this turn. I can tap, put this into play, tap, save some life, but actually I'm holding Terminate and Drown in the Lock, both of which are relevant cards. Yeah, Liliana, they know that I can't drown her in the lock. I can't terminate her either. Each player discards a card. I think I can get rid of a land, because I'm about to Expressive Iteration, and land is the most likely thing I'm going to hit off of that. Do I want to Unholy Heat this Liliana to take some pressure off? And I don't think so. Alright, drawing another land is pretty good. So they're up to 2 cards in their graveyard now. So Drown in the Lock is getting better. Right, I think I'm going to play my land, pass the turn, and I have a swamp I can discard to Liliana. Then I can still Iteration to recoup those losses next turn. They can Spellbomb themselves, I think. Yeah, target player. Yeah, they can Spellbomb themselves to get around Drown in the Lock. But if they Spellbomb themselves, then I can build up Delirium. Alright, they hit an Assassin's Trophy, so that does mana screw me a little bit. Do I... What is it? What do I care about here? Alright, float blue. I'm not going to counter the trophy. Alright, so trophy resolves. I have enough basics that I'm not losing a land here. Alright, go find an island. Alright, Shardless Agent. Let me map out my answers here. So my answers to Liliana include not much. Like, I can keep her from going ultimate for a little while, but she is gonna chew up all the cards in this game. I think I want to drown this thing in the lock. Just because this Nile Spellbomb, like, I don't even really care if this resolves, so if they want to use Spellbomb to get cheeky around my counterspell, that's fine in this spot. So fetching, do I need double black? I have Voidwalker in the deck, so yes. A double red is currently more important though. Alright. I have a hand with 3 red spells in it. I should prioritize double red. Ooh. Alright, well, Liliana will eat this thing, no questions asked, but at least those are turns off of... Yeah, those are turns off of her going ultimate. And I do have a bunch of burn in the deck. If I can find some of it, then this is a way to chew up Liliana. There's a burn spell. That actually does kill Liliana, so I don't think I want to mill it. So put that on top, and then I'm going to put... Oh, I actually want Iteration in my hand. Bummer. Alright, that card is better than... Yeah, way better than Lightning Bolt. Alright, Iteration's in my hand. Change of plans. Lightning Bolt on the bottom. Exile Blackcleave Cliffs. Play my land for the turn. If they do go to minus Liliana, I can bounce Channeler with Seal of Removal. And that's a way to tread water through that. Sacking Seal of Removal also gives me Delirium, for what that's worth. Dothy Voidwalker. Okay. So they're going to get my Seal of Removal? Oh no, they're not. Okay, sure. They're just ignoring this completely. So I'm going to discard Terminate, I guess. Ooh, nice. That's actually really good. So they have one card left. I'm going to dash Ragavan and go after them with Ragavan and after Liliana with Channeler. Here's the plan. If their last card is just like Fatal Push, now they have a choice to make at least. Oh, Icefang Coatl. That's cool. Blue, green. I'll cast that Coatl. That's a 2-for-1. Oh, 3-for-1, really. And I'm going to kill Dothy Voidwalker as well right now while the getting's good. Guess I could have done it before combat to try to push Delirium. Get the Spellbomb popped. But now I have so many creatures that Liliana's minus isn't even relevant. Alright, finally time to Spellbomb. So I was able to out-pressure the Spellbomb before I had to go for Lurrus. That's great. I'm going to discard Lightning Bolt if they plus Liliana. Alright, they're making me sack a creature. You can have your Coatl back. And Lightning Bolt kills Liliana here. If they play a second Liliana and minus again... Right, that's not what's happening. This is 4 mana. Face the Mind Sculptor. Alright, that also dies to Lightning Bolt or Ragavan. Okay, so they're Fate Sealing themselves here. Or Scry one. Fate Seal yourself is Scry. There's a word for that. Alright, cool. Bauble. They did bottom the card with Jace. Wasn't good enough. And then if I ignore Liliana, I can kill Jace. I'm going to go for Expressive Iteration. Let's just push this as far as I can take it. Alright, so put one in my hand. I think that will be... No, I need all 3 mana this turn, so it's not Nile Spellbomb. Though, yeah. Alright, so Snapcaster in my hand. Oh shit, this is Blackcleave Cliffs. I may have gotten greedy. Alright, so put Snapcaster in my hand. Put put land on the bottom, because I can't use this land anyway right now. And exile Nile Spellbomb. I get to cast Nile Spellbomb, get another Dragon Rage Channeler, then in the graveyard. Then I can just remove Liliana, and then I have to beat Jace over the next several turns. I could also put Jace to 1. It's actually tough. Oh wait, no. Instant artifact. I can kill Jace, and then they get to keep their Liliana. Alright, so I put this artifact in the graveyard. They have Verdant Catacombs on top of their deck. Lightning Bolt Jace gives me Delirium. Put that in the graveyard. The Lightning Bolt Jace, then attack Jace. Alright, I'm much more worried about Jace than Liliana. Okay. Figured that one out. Learning these play patterns on the fly. Target player sacks a creature. Do I pop my Seal, or do I just Lurrus this back later? I think I pick it up with Seal. I can dash Ragavan to finish off Liliana. Or Snap Bolt. Ooh, Thoughtseize. That was a cool trick. Too bad my hand is gasoline? Oh, they took the Snapcaster. Yeah, they know what's going on. Okay, so do I even care about Liliana compared to just dashing Ragavan and getting some money right now? I'm actually just going to do that. And I'm going to attack them. Attack opponent. And we flipped Bloodchief Thirst. I do not have the... Or I do have the mana to cast that with Kicker to get rid of Liliana. I just don't care. So I'm going to get Hellbent, so Liliana doesn't matter. Here's my army of 3/3s. Good luck. Oh, wait. I forgot about Ragavan. Alright, well, I can draw a card off Nile Spellbomb still. Alright, they're just conceding, though. Alright. Ground that one out. A couple little falters in my sequencing, like things that I could have done cleaner, but luckily it didn't matter too much because this deck is just so much more powerful than the opponent's deck. And I didn't even need Lurrus. This is just in the tank still. Every time I'm playing with Lurrus, I picture the scene in The Fast and the Furious where Brian shoots his Nas in his first race against Dom, and Dom's in the other car like, too early. And that's how I feel about companions. Like, I'm Dom Toretto. I'm going to wait for my Nas till the very end, and Lurrus is the Nas. I want to win games without needing Lurrus, so this is pride points going forward. 1-0, let's go. I'm on the play in round number 2. I'm going to keep this hand. This is a nice little Thoughtseize Bobble hand. We don't know what this hand does yet, but it does get to Thoughtseize the opponent. So I'm going to bobble them first. That gives me the maximum information about what they're doing. So I'm going to know their whole hand and the top of their deck. So Wall of Roots is their draw. And I can bobble myself and decide if I want to play Bloodstained Mire or Blackcleave Cliffs. Get a little scry action here. Blackcleave Cliffs. That's not a card I want to draw. So I'm going to fetch Watery Grave and cast Thoughtseize. So if that was a card I wanted, I could have played the Blackcleave Cliffs and just drawn it, but I didn't want it, so I got a free scry out of the deal. And bang. Looks like we're playing against the Yawgmoth deck. Oh no, this is Squeaky Jeeky. That's what we're playing against. If you haven't seen this deck yet, the Century Oak from Modern Horizons 2, whenever a +1/+1 counter is put on it, create a 1/1 squirrel, and Ivy Denizen is whenever a 1/1 comes into play, or whenever a green creature comes into play, put a counter on target creature. So you just, each squirrel triggers a counter, which triggers a squirrel, and it's infinite squirrels with Ivy Denizen and Century Oak. This is actually a deck in my recording queue, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you want to see that when it comes around. Squeaky fucking Jeeky. Alright, so I actually think I'm more worried about Young Wolf than this Ivy Lane Denizen, and I don't think it's close. Like, I can't deny their mana. They have so much of it. There's just 3 mana dinguses and Wall of Roots coming. So I'm going to take the Young Wolf. Am I worried about Young Wolf? This thing's really hard to kill. Alright, yeah, I'm taking Young Wolf. Alright. So I draw 2 cards. Alright, Unholy Heat's a good one. That can slow them down a bit. This Nurturing Peatland being their only land is pretty nice. So now I can line up Unholy Heat, snap Unholy Heat, and really mess up their business for a while. And because I've seen a 1-lander, I am going to beat up on their mana. Like, if their hand looked different, maybe I would... Oh my god, a second Peatland. Burn for your pain. Alright, Wall of Roots. So maybe I snap Thoughtseize now. Alright, finding the second land does get them up. So I'm going to snap Thoughtseize, take the Ivy Lane Denizen. Or I could just Thoughtseize and hold up. Drown in the lock. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, just Thoughtseize from hand, hold up Drown. So I take Denizen. Their hand is Gilded Goose. They can start chipping in with Exalted attacks off Ignoble Hierarch. But that's not gonna win the game. Right, so they found a land and Gilded Goose. So they're all in. Time for Ignoble Hierarch beatdown. I'm not gonna flash in Snapcaster and ambush this thing. Oh, they didn't even do it. Interesting. Don't want to attack for one. They hate attacking. Okay, so now I have a line where I can snap it, flash in Snapcaster, block, and Unholy Heat something else. So maybe with them Hellbent, I'm supposed to just wish for Lurrus. Yeah, I might have messed that up. Alright, with the second Exalted, Snapcaster Mage isn't a trade, so I'm just gonna snap right now and Unholy Heat the attacker. Alright, so Unholy, Ignoble Hierarch's gone. That also removes one of the Exalted, so Snapcaster can trade with the other one if it attacks. They have Gilded Goose, which it can attack with flying, but that's... then they can't make food. Alright. Expressive Iteration's a great draw, all the time. 100% of the time. So I want Expressive Iteration in hand, and I want Scalding Tarn in exile. I have a bunch of removal now, I don't need this Unholy Heat. And then next turn I can... Actually, what are they going to do to me in one turn? I should just slam Lurrus in my hand right now. Let's go, yeah. That's the plan. Watery Grave. Put Lurrus in hand. It's got to fade one draw step, and then I'm Lurrusing, bobbling, and I have up Drown in the Loch. And so they're drawing a card using their lands. So they still have 5 mana available. If they jam like actual Yawgmoth right now, that could be scary. Oh wow, just desperately drawing cards. Use their Wall of Roots, sack a land. That's rough. Basic Forest and pass the turn. Is that where we are? Nice. Okay. Time to absolutely run away with this game. Black, black, black. Bobble. Show me your secrets. Okay, Yawgmoth is on top of their deck. Looks like we faded that one. That was, in fact, the card we were scared of. They can make a food in the end step. They have 5 mana, so if they've put together like a Thoughtseize Yawgmoth protection plan, they can get them into play. I can remove them next turn. But Snap Drown is gonna start taking this one over. They have 1 card in their hand, 1 mystery card, alongside Yawgmoth. Alright, counter this. Lock. You could say they are locked out of this game. Ha 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 ha. Don't say that. Dad joke central over here. Okay, so I don't know what's in their hand. I know it's not super useful, yeah. Land was a good guess. So, Mishra's Bauble, play that. If I Expressive Iteration, I'm not guaranteed to have double blue. So I'm just going to hold off on iterating. I'm going to attack with my 2 creatures. Wall of Roots is a 0/1 now, so any block is an eat. And Lurrus, the lifelink. It's time to get in. Lurrus is a messed up magic card. Especially with Mishra's Bauble, which is also a messed up magic card, just on its own. Doesn't even need the help. Alright, Geralf's Messenger on top of the deck. They'll probably fetch it away to hide information. Yep. Go fetch Dryad Arbor. Tricky. Alright, I'm ready to iterate expressively. They have a lot of dead draws in their deck. Like, any land's bad, any mana creature's bad. Things like Eldritch Evolution or Court of Calling are probably pretty good, but yeah, alright. Even had that one covered. So, Snapcaster, Drown in the Loch. Drown, and I get to iterate some more answers up. And they don't have a way to shuffle right now, so the Bauble is just good information. It's going to count. It's going to be good. And I'm going to do this before I make any decisions off Expressive Iteration. Urborg is their top card. That's not good enough to do anything. So, time to iterate. Put this one in my hand. This one on the bottom. Exile this one. I know I can't play it. It just doesn't super matter. I can attack with everything here. I have sorcery, artifact, land in the graveyard, and I can put an instant or enchantment there. So they gain some life. I know I don't have to do anything this turn because their top deck is Urborg. So I'm going to just deploy the seal. And I don't think I need to fire any of these creatures. Drew Inquisition for Bobble, that doesn't matter. And they're scooping it up. I think I actually should have kept Scalding Tarn over Blackleaf Cliffs. Like, it doesn't matter. I was far enough ahead that I wasn't losing that game, but I think that I just had plenty of black and red, and having another blue source would have been nice. So I did not iterate expressively enough there, but could have been better. All right, let's see what we got here. Dothy Voidwalker is going to be insane. Nile Spellbomb's going to be insane. This is like an Undying Persist combo deck. I want all my creature removal. Engineered Explosives sweeping up their mana dinguses could matter. Kozilek's Return's probably even better. Kozilek's Return and Engineered Explosives. Aether Gust, I mean, they are kind of a green deck, but they're also, like, the cards I really, really care about are black. So I don't think that's where I want to be. Ragavan is probably pretty bad in this matchup because they have so many random cheap creatures like Young Wolf. Have you ever ran your Ragavan into Young Wolf? I don't want to be on that scoreboard. So the Lightning Bolts and Unholy Heats are good. The discard spells are good on like turn 1 and pretty bad later. Like we saw that game. I think that game was made possible by my turn 1 Thoughtseize because I was able to just know exactly what was going on and dance around all of it. But we drew some bad Inquisitions later. Terminate, Drown, Iteration, Snapcaster. I have to keep all those. Like, this is a situation of lots of things I want to bring in and not many things I want to cut. I could cut Kroxa, but Kroxa gets the game done pretty well. Maybe it's a Seal of Removal, another Inquisition. I'm leaving the Thoughtseizes in over the Inquisitions because Yawgmoth costs 4, and that's the most important card by a lot. Maybe I don't want Engineered Explosives and Kozilek's Return. I can just pick one or the other. But Explosives I can loop with Lurrus, and Return I can't. Is Return better than an Unholy Heat? Like, just get a sweeper in over... Or is it better than Kolaghan's Command? I don't think it's better than Kolaghan's Command. Alright, I'm going to submit this deck. I probably want Kozilek's Return in here, but ran out of time to figure it out. This hand is so good. I'm keeping my hand, and I'm going to Dragon's Rage Channeler on turn 1, and then Thoughtseize Lightning Bolt turn 2, probably. Depending on what they put in, of course, but... Oh, just basic forest, ship it. Yeah, we're going to stick to this plan. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Let's go. Wall of Roots, you got it. Alright, so I'm probably not Lightning Bolting. I am going to have to fetch Shock, though, for maximum pain. But that's okay. Choke is legal in Modern, right? I guess I gotta watch out for that one. Ooh, Veil of Summer. Dope. Dope, dope, dope. Alright, yeah, that was sick. That was not on my radar. Should have been. Put that in the graveyard. Alright, well, that means they can't block here. Fearless. Alright. I will use that since they gave it to me. Get that card selection, get that mana denial. They got a pretty big value off that Veil of Summer, so getting in with my... getting that Lightning Bolt to clear an 0-4 is pretty nice. Another one. Young Wolf. Alright, so I gotta be ready for the Yawgmoth. Alright, I am now ready for the Yawgmoth. I'm just gonna pass the turn here with Terminate up. So I have Instant Land Sorcery in the graveyard. Spellskite. Yeah, sure. So I'm going to Drown in the Lock the Spellskite in the end step. And I'm going to fetch first, in case I want to keep the Dragon Rage Channeler card, the Surveil card. Alright, I've milled a lot of dual lands, running out of them here. I think Drown is better than Spellskite, or Drown is better than Terminate, because they only have 2 cards in their graveyard. Oh, they have that fetch land though, so I am going to Terminate. I'd rather keep Yawgmoth out of play entirely. So if I can Drown it, I would rather do that than Terminate it once it's in play. This fetch land, hopefully they crack it, and that's their 4th card. Alright, Snapcaster's great. That's why you fetch before you Surveil. They cracked the Verdant Catacombs, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could chord for 3 right now. Trying to think of what they're doing that needs an extra mana here. If it was Veil of Summer, they already had green. Chord for 3 does seem pretty likely. And Spellskite is gone. I drew Snapcaster Mage. I knew that was going to be the draw. I put it there. So now I have Drown in the Lock available, so I have the room here to Expressive Iteration. Unholy Heat. Do I want that card? That was Snapcaster Mage. It's as good in my graveyard as it is anywhere else. So I'm going to put Voidwalker in my hand, Island on the bottom, and exile Bauble. So cast Bauble. Get another trigger off of this thing. Kolaghan's Command. That's a hell of a card. I will keep that on top. And then shock this in. I'm really not bluffing anything here. I have Drown in the Lock. Play around it. Eldritch Evolution, top of their deck. That's a good card. The Bauble gives me Delirium. So in we go. Gotta hope that last card in their hand isn't good, because Eldritch Evolution actually is. So they're getting their damage in. They might be holding back the evolution because Shocking and Steam Vents just clearly telegraphs Drown in the Lock. There is no doubt that that's the card that I have here. They're making their move. Let's hope they don't have another Veil of Summer. Where is my Surveil? There it is. I actually want to keep Unholy Heat at this point. Just having another answer to stuff is nice. And Kolaghan's Command plus Unholy Heat is multiple cards I can cast. Dauthi Voidwalker is actually really good here. I'd rather get that into play than mess around with Kolaghan's Command or Snapcaster. Dauthi Voidwalker. So the text on Yawgmoth. I've seen Yawgmoth in play so many times. I even play it in EDH, and I'm still like confused about everything it can do. So Yawgmoth is pay 1 life, sack another creature, put a -1 counter on up to 1 target creature, and draw a card. So the Young Wolf is basically like infinite, but if I have Voidwalker and Unholy Heat, they're not going to be able to go off. Yeah, I was just trying to make sure that I wasn't going to lose this game by putting down Snapcaster Drown in the Lock, which is like a pretty clean answer to whatever they got. But the Unholy Heat on Yawgmoth, the 6 damage is good for that. And Voidwalker means they have to answer Voidwalker before they can even start a Yawgmoth combo, which would require the Holy Heat at all. So, alright. We've got a plan. I think we're safe. I don't know what that card in their hand is. I still think it's Chord of Calling. And if it is Chord, they can put Yawgmoth into play right now. Because they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, they had Yawgmoth straight up. Okay, so let's see how this works. Let's see if I miscalculated. Pay 1 life, sack another creature, put a -1 counter on up to 1 target creature, and draw a card. So, I don't know. None of these creatures are coming back because of Voidwalker. I can roast the Yawgmoth if I need to. But it looks like they're just passing the turn. I am not going to do anything in the end step. Both of my creatures are unblockable, so I can just attack for 6, pass the turn, make them figure something out. And I have Unholy Heat, Snap Unholy Heat, or Snap Drown, or Bolt Heat, or K Command Heat. I have a lot of options here. And they're dead to Lightning Bolt next turn. And with the Snapcaster Mage, I have 2 of them. Okay, it was Chord of Calling the whole time. We were right. I think this is a good time to heat Yawgmoth right now before whatever this 1-drop is. So they sacked Wall of Roots to draw a card and put a -1 on Voidwalker. They're going to finish killing off Voidwalker. That's fine. I can K-command it back up if I even care. Terminate. Do I even need this? I'll put it on top. Do I even want to put it on top? Yeah, I mean, this is a creature deck. Let's go. And I have them pretty dead, but they did just draw a bunch of cards, so that could be the difference maker. All right, Young Wolf is in play now. I have Snap Heat available if they have another Yogg. It's Strangle Root Geist. You got it. All right, in for 3. You got that too. I guess if they have like Abrupt Decay or some removal, that's actually not the worst. So I think I want to deal 2 to target player and get Voidwalker back in my hand. Alright, so rebuy Voidwalker, deal 2 to them. This puts them in bolt range if it resolves. If they have Veil of Summer, I get my Voidwalker back anyway. Yeah, this leaves them dead even if they can remove Channeler. Okay, cool. Alright, put this in the graveyard. That's no longer part of the plan. Alright, you're at 3. And I have Lightning Bolt. Bolt you. And if they have a response to this, I can Snap Bolt them in response. So, yeah. Alright, cool. Out-controlled the creature combo deck, which we should be able to do. There is just so much creature removal in this deck. And check it out. I live my life a quarter mile at a time. Lurrus still in exile. Another point on the scoreboard. On the draw in round number 3. And finally, we have a Lurrus Mirror. I don't know if it's the Mirror, but they're also a Lurrus deck. Mine is better because it's borderless. This is literally just the one card Hoarder sent me. I don't actually get credit for being sweet. But my hand's good, and if this is like hammer time, we're going to settle into control roll. Alright, it's hammer time. If I was about to say if this is the Grixis Mirror, we're just going to play some chess. I think I have to leave up Lightning Bolt right now. Like, if they just go Mem Knight Hammer, you're dead. I'm not interested in that game, but I can afford to play a little slower here. Like, I could just play a 1-drop next turn and leaving up the Lightning Bolt. My only job is to not die in this matchup. If I don't die for long enough, I will eventually win. Oh, Paradise Mantle is really interesting. Weird. And I do think Dragon Rage Channeler is a better start than Ragavan, because the card selection over time is going to add up. It's going to matter a lot. All right, Pure Steel Paladin. This doesn't get... Yeah, that just gives power and toughness. Or it just gives the ability. It doesn't give power and toughness. Alright, so Pally's going to resolve. They can play Artifact, or they can play things like they have Flash. Let's hope they don't have something that gives it extra toughness. Right, Paradise Mantle. So they get to draw a card. And they can equip this. It doesn't do anything, though. This could just be like an actual Pure Steel combo deck, which is like an older meme, but it checks out. Okay. It was not that. Right, Ragavan, leaving up Snap Bolt is better than Ragavan here. It's going to get in for my point. They did end up getting a card off of their Paladin, unfortunately. Could not avoid that with the Sigarda's Aid in play. This is a matchup where Engineered Explosives and Chalice of the Void are going to be good. I have to be careful when and how I fetch, because their equipment all having Flash is kind of dangerous. I was busy saying that and then didn't actually do it. Like, if I fetch, they can just make this a 12/12 in response. I'm gonna go for it anyway. Like, they flash it in, it's fine. I am showing Drown in the Lock and Terminate and like all sorts of other things. Like, it's not necessarily Snap Bolt that they have on their radar. Alright, speak of the devil. So I'm gonna play No, I'm gonna play Channeler. Play a second Channeler. Channeler is just so much better than Ragavan. It's unreal. Alright, so I have Drown in the Lock. And this is whenever an equipment enters the battlefield. Alright, it's not when you cast it. That's SRAM, I think, is the one that does that. So I can drown this Pure Steel Paladin in the lock. I'm not going to block. All right, drown. Destroy target creature. Oh shit. Oh, it's mana cost, right? Yeah, okay, mana value. And for a second I was like, oh god, is it power? Can they flash in another one and just kill me? In the graveyard. And on top. Drown in the Lock's gotta be one of the best cards in this matchup. Wow! I was not ready for Swiftfoot Boots. I'm not gonna lie. Now I've lost this game for sure. Like, I just have no answer to that. Yeah, I'm not I'm not gonna pretend I was playing around Swiftfoot Boots even for 1 second. Alright. I actually cannot win this game. Alright. I guess I could chump a little bit. Like, it doesn't get trample, but fuck it. Actually, that was a super early concession. I forgot that Colossus Hammer doesn't give trample. Like, I could easily chump with these Ragavans for a couple turns and, like, try to race around it with the... Yeah, actually, that was a super early concession. I blew it. Alright, so... Gotta... consider Swiftfoot Boots, I guess. Is that in the stock build? Tell me, people. I don't think I've seen that card in constructed play outside of Commander ever. Alright, Seal of Removal seems good. Thoughtseize and Inquisition seem good. Lightning Bolt's good. Ragavan is medium bad. Like, their deck has Memnite in it. How am I going to connect with a Ragavan ever? Also, I'm bringing in Chalice, so I want to, like, respect the fact that I have a lot of 1-drops in my deck. Kozilek's Return, is that something I want? Yes. Aether Gust, no. Voidwalker, no. Alpine Moon, no. Actually, Alpine Moon can name Inkmoth Nexus, which takes at least one piece of the puzzle out, but I think with my removal, I can count on that anyway. So Ragavan's out. K-Command, insane. I said Drown on the Lock's the best card in the deck, but it's probably Kolaghan's Command. All of this early interaction seems important. Maybe Bauble just is the least important card left in the deck. Okay, here is my deck that I'm presenting. I feel like this matchup should be good. You just got to play around Swiftfoot Boots. The 6-lander with Terminate is not a keep. Alright, here we go. Now we're in business. I'm going to keep this, and I think Snapcaster Mage, or no, it's Seal of Removal. Yeah, Seal of Removal is the worst card in this hand, for sure. And then I think I do just want the information about what they're drawing. Like, no more surprises. If they have Swiftfoot Boots, I want to know about it. They have Ornithopter. I drew Eclipse from my Bauble. God, Sigarda's 8 is so good. Busted magic card. Ornithopter's here. What a twist. Okay, so I'm going to Lightning Bolt Memnite in the end step. I'm going to do it off Steam Vents. That sets up my colors for Drown in the Lock. Alright, Steam Vents, Lightning Bolt. If they have like Cathar's Shield or whatever, they get me. They shouldn't make fun of random equipments they could have because clearly they're playing them. They're playing all of them. Drown in the Lock can kill Ornithopter even if they don't have a graveyard. So that's good news. Defense Grid, huh? I guess I will destroy Ornithopter in response. That leaves me in a lot of trouble to this Inkmoth Nexus, though. Not gonna lie. 2 cards left in their hand, but they don't really have to be good. Alright, so I'm gonna Snap Bolt Memnite right now. Right here in my main phase, because that's when I have to do it. And then, if they put Colossus Hammer on their land, then I can block, and then it'll fall off, and they'll have to draw another one to reattach it. They have the land. God, 3 mana. Oh, okay, Lurrus. I was like, what are they doing for 3 mana? But yeah, Lurrus is in their deck. It's true. So I'm not going to attack, and I'm going to hold up Lightning Bolt. I can pay 4 mana for a Lightning Bolt. I think killing their Lurrus is going to be among the most important things I can do here. Guess I could have... Now, shit. Yeah, I should have got my Lurrus. Then I can my Lurrus, Bauble. Yeah, because they can just flash in Colossus Hammer and make Lurrus a zillion anyway. Yeah, I have to bolt on my turn. That was just a huge punt. Just did not think about how that turn actually looks at all. That was bad. Okay, so Watery Grave, tapped, Engineered Explosives. That's good. So Lightning Bolt Lurrus when they can't respond to it. Land. I think I wish for my Lurrus here. Okay. I have the blocker to survive a Poison Hammer. Actually, can they activate Inkmoth Nexus again and give it reflying? Is that how the rules work here? This is actually a huge problem if they just start drawing a bunch of cards. Ugh. This deck is so good. So they're putting Shadow Spear onto Memnite. Is one of their last two cards Hammer? Land and what? Activating Inkmoth. Are they just getting in for 1 poison because they can? Oh no, 2 poison because they can, right. Yeah, the Pure Steel Paladin does let them move stuff around for free. I take 2 poison, they gain 2 life. Engineered Explosives is super awkward because I want to kill Paladin with it, but that also kills Snapcaster Mage, which removes my blocker that I've worked so hard to assemble. Okay, let's see what happens here. How about some removal? Okay, so Bauble. Let's have a look at what they're doing. Bauble you. They're drawing Urza's Saga. That's a good card. I have the explosives to cover that eventually. I can Lurrus and Bauble again and then play explosives on 0. That's actually pretty reasonable. Alright, so Lurrus. There he is. Bauble again. Cast explosives for 0. That'll at least answer Memnite if I need to answer Memnite. And I think getting the extra information off Bobbling on their turn is worth more. Like, let them draw, then Bobble them again, because I can't play a spell anyway due to defense grid. Still not attacking here. Bobble draws Iteration. That's pretty good. They just drew Urza Saga. That's really good too. There's the Saga. Silent Clearing. I'm going to Bobble them in response. Figure out. Alright, a second Saga is the draw. Engineered Explosives has that kind of under control. Inkmoth Nexus is waking up. Oh wait. They can just flash in after I've already not blocked. That's how this works. I've been like hiding behind the Snapcaster Mage the whole game and it just doesn't even do what I want it to. Awkward. Yeah, because this has flash. Or this gives your equipment's flash. Yeah, so I've actually just been dead this whole time. And they just clearly don't have Hammer in their hand. And they're 2 turns away from finding one off Saga. Sanctifier and Vec. That sucks. Oh, Lurrus just got a lot worse. Or, Lurrus is actually still the same, but the Snapcasters just got a lot worse. I'm going to clear out Memnite now, because I had the mana free to do it. Alright, there's Snapcaster right on time. I guess I want to Iteration. Okay, Iterate. Dragon Rage Channeler. I want that in hand. That does not have flying? Does not have flying. Alright, so this in my hand. Inquisition on the bottom. Exile this. Play this. I think I want to... Yeah, I definitely just want to Explosives for 2 and pop it right now. That clears out their shit. I know their only card in hand is not Hammer for 1 turn. I have a 1 turn window to navigate this. Do I need blue or black? I think I want more blue. Okay, so Engineered Explosives, blue, black. Yeah, so the reason I didn't pop Explosives for 2 on previous turns turns out that it's not even a real thing. So let's kill their defense grid and their 2 creatures and just hope that I don't die this turn. I need them not to draw a Hammer. Just don't draw a Hammer and we're good. F6. So if they didn't draw a hammer, they have a YOLO swing to draw a card with silent clearing, but if they do that, then they don't get to attack with Inkmoth Nexus, or they don't get to make a construct token. So they're sort of, they can't do everything they want right now. There's the second saga. They took the YOLO swing with silent clearing. Uh-oh, they're animating their thing. Am I dead? Jesus Christ. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I definitely messed up the early turns of that game. I could have cleared the Pure Steel Paladin 100 turns ago. I could have engineered explosives on 1. Like, if I didn't waste that turn doing it on 0, I could have done it on 1, cleared the Sigarda's Aid, and then... Or just leave it in play so I can't get hammered. But, like, it was literally this turn. Like, if I get one more turn where I get to play Engineered Explosives on 1, that kills Hammer, kills Shadow Spear, kills Sigarda's Aid, and then I can loop it on 0s to keep the constructs, and that was the critical turn. They had to rip there, and they did. So, GG. I definitely could have played this better. I also scooped game 1 when I didn't need to. I just, like, could have chumped with Ragavans and clocked them with the 3/3 Dragon Rage Channelers for a while. Like, this was not a well-played match of Magic from me. The Hammer Time deck is really weird, and it's really good. And those two things together mean that you need a lot of reps against the deck to really understand everything it's doing. And I'm not going to pretend that I do. Like, I know vaguely that the plan is to equip Colossus Hammer to stuff, but exactly all the lines and the tricks and everything, like, I don't have that yet, because I play a different deck in a different format every day. You all know that. So, like, I haven't sat down and put reps against this matchup yet. And you definitely need to do that if you plan on playing Modern. You got to know exactly how your deck lines up against Hammer Time. So that one was a little rocky. On to the next round. On the draw in round number 4. I'm going to keep this. My opponent is not a Lurrus deck, meaning they have no chance at all. I'm mostly just talking shit. Like, I have no idea what they're doing. If they're Amulet, that is the matchup Daryl said is rough. Depending on what they show me that they're doing, I can determine if leading on Inquisition or leading on Channeler is the better play. But they mulled to 6, so I probably want to beat on them a bit with Inquisition. Okay, so I'm going to fetch for Blood Crypt? No, Watery Grave. Yeah, Watery Grave's definitely better. Right, so I'm going to get Watery Grave. Cast Inquisition. And then I can Dragon Rage Channeler, Inquisition them again next turn. Oh, yeah. So they are a Blitzy version of the Dragon Rage Channeler deck. So I'm going to need some... Oh, did your spell? Right, okay. A just naked, nasty little expressive iteration. You know, I'm sure this deck has a lot of 0s in it because it has Stormwing Entity. But still, just casting that on turn 2 never feels awesome. Mutagenic Growth. Alright, confirmed. They do have 0s in their deck. So this does look like some sort of turbo. I don't know if this build is going to have Murktide Region in it, or if they're just trying to go super fast, like what the deal is here. But I'm going to Dragon Rage Channeler and Inquisition them. I'm glad they tapped out this turn, because Inquisition would have... It gets to take the Lightning Bolt now, which may or may not turn off Stormwing Entity. My deck is full of removal, so I just need to draw some before I'm dead. That's what this particular match is about right now. Inquisition. I do not need another land right now. And they have 2 ways to turn on Stormwing Entity. Oh, but they don't have the land for Lightning Bolt Stormwing. Alright, I'm actually going to take Mutagenic Growth, because I have a backup channeler here. What I don't have is an answer to Stormwing Entity. Block. I will make this trade. The whole time, every time. Okay, they ripped Mutagenic Growth. That's rough. Alright, fine. That was the card I just took. There were 3 of them in their top 12 cards of their deck. Okay, I mean, still doing that before they attack saved me 5 damage, so I'm still into that. Now I just need to draw, like, Lightning Bolt. Like, if I can Lightning Bolt, Snap Bolt, or Unholy Heat, or, you know, something. Alright, I said Unholy Heat, but that's not actually what I want, because it doesn't I am not delirious. So I think I need to... Do I wish for Lurrus here? 1, 2, 3. No, am I just dead if I wish for Lurrus? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm at 3. If I... Sucks my basic mountain's already in play. This Unholy Heat is just a turn too late. What do I need to do here? I could get basic Swamp and Snapcaster Inquisition, which does take the Lightning Bolt out of play at least. Alright, so I will take their Lightning Bolt, put them to Hellbent, and then what needs to happen? I need to draw an instant speed removal spell. Like if I draw Terminate and I can like terminate Stormwing, Unholy Heat with Delirium, Dragon Rage Channeler, then that is a line. I mean, my life total's pretty low, but my life total's low anyway. I could also just like YOLO swing with the Unholy Heat. I could play Dragon Rage Channeler, Unholy Heat without Delirium, trigger Surveil, and just hope that it's a card type I don't have. Mishra's Bauble also gets me there. So Bauble's actually one of my better draws right now. So can't block, gotta take this damage. Come on, deck, help me out. No. So I think I do actually... Do I just have to make the YOLO swing? Because I'm dead anyway. Alright. I'm gonna play Channeler and Unholy Heat. And I need to see an instant or artifact off of the Surveil trigger. Shit. Alright. We're dead. Didn't get there this time. I do get to block. Okay. Probably should have attacked because I'm not blocking anyway. So I can block, go to 2, dead to any spell, dead to Lightning Bolt in a variety of ways. Definitely blocking this one so I don't just lose to like Thought Scour. Alright. Dead to Lava Dart anyway. Yeah, they had me. Needed that to work and it didn't. That was pretty close. I mean, all things considered, how many removal spells in my deck, and I didn't draw them, and not knowing the matchup when I kept the hand, like all of those things, and then being on the play, any little variation there, and we're stable and off to the races. Yeah, like Lightning Bolt. If I drew the Lightning Bolt before the Unholy Heat, I think we win that game. So close, 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 close. All right, Aether Gust is good. Terminate's good. Chalice of the Void, I'm pretty sure this is what this is for. Engineered Explosives looks pretty good. Maybe you don't play Chalice in this matchup. Because I need to keep the board clear. Do I play Spellbomb? Like, that does shrink the Dragon Rage Channelers. Yeah, that sounds like something I probably want. So what is not as good in this matchup? Again, Ragavan. Not great. Not good at attacking or blocking in this matchup, and dies to Lava Dart. Kroxa. And I do need to win this game somehow. So, like, maybe a Kroxa. I don't know. Like, it's just really slow and doesn't interact with their creatures at all. I don't think I want Thoughtseize in the matchup. Probably do still want some number of Inquisitions. I want my Heats and my Burn. In my Chalice is only one card in my deck versus all of these 1-mana interactive spells, so I think it's fine to have both. Kozilek's Return. I don't think that will actually kill anything in their deck. Flusterstorm might be good, but a lot of their spells don't need to resolve. They just need to go on the stack to get their money. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And now I am apprised of the matchup. I can keep or mulligan in a way that makes sense. Okay, this does have removal, kind of. I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to bobble myself for the scry. Bobble, opponent kept 7. Target me. Snapcaster Mage. Alright, I don't want another one of those. So I'm going to fetch. Does this basic island do what I need it to? Alright, I am going to bet on basic island. which might end up hurting me, but we'll see. Fiery Islet, Serum Visions, you got it. Seal of Removal is nice against Storming Entity. If they gotta do some work to cast that thing, and then I can just send it back. It's basically the emulation of Murktide Regent for their deck. So I think I play Blood Crypt tapped and drop Explosives on 1. Just get that ready. And I can play Blackcleave Cliffs untapped, so I've gone almost pain-free from my mana base up to this point. Manamorphose into Entity, probably. Alright, that's what Seal of Removal is for. So they scryed 1 top, 1 bottom. Inquisition. Do I care about Inquisition? I could just put Lurrus in my hand right now and set up Seal looping, or Lurrus looping Seal. I think getting Lurrus in hand right now while I'm not under immense pressure makes some sense. I can feel Dom Toretto yelling at me already. Too early. But it does feel like a good spot to do it. Get out. I also could have just taken 3 to end step bounce it and get 2 turns of relief. But I don't know if this deck plays Light Up the Stage. Don't want to give them that if I don't have to. Alright, so I want to draw a land here to Lurrus and then refire the Seal. Actually, I want to draw, like, Terminate, or, like, just something that kills the Storming Entity outright. That would be even better. Snapcaster Mage is not what I was looking for. Actually, none of these are good. Like, I'm just flooded on 3-drops right now. I could Lurrus and play Mishra's Bauble, but wow, that feels bad. But does it feel worse than just, like, Inquisition you? I guess I could K-command to, like, deal 2 to them and they discard a card, but wow, that feels bad too. All of this feels terrible. I guess I can Inquisition and I'm still holding up Engineered Explosives for 1-drops. So let's get a look over there. Oh, they have 2 Blood Moons in their deck, huh? That's bad. Okay. Well, I'm about to lose the Blood Moon. Handful of black cards. No big deal. So they get to fetch a basic island here. Or they don't even want one? Dragonrite Channeler. Okay, that's dead. It's really interesting that they didn't fetch for an island. Guess they feel like they're not going to need one. Alright, well, I'm going to kill Dragonrite Channeler at the very least. And hope to draw my basic swamp before I'm dead. Alright, another mountain. I can cast Snapcaster Mages, just like as 2/1s. But I think, like, can I wait for a Lightning Bolt? Like, I have the mana to Bolt Snap Bolt. Oh, Manamorphose is a convenient way around your own Blood Moon. Okay. I could have avoided that by waiting on my Engineered Explosives. I could also just jump in and block it right now with Snapcaster. Is that a line I want to take? You go to 7. I already go to 5. Alright. I'm taking the damage. Let's draw Lightning Bolt and reward me. Shit. Another mountain. Okay, yeah, these Blood Moons got me good. Again, we're looking at format familiarity. Like, I'm playing different decks in different formats every day. I don't know all this stuff. Like, I don't know, like, oh yeah, Blood Moon. It makes perfect sense, but didn't think of it. I'm dead to any burn spell here, but especially Lava Dart. Alright, they didn't dart me. But I'm dead to any Lightning Bolt at any point, including that one right there. Alright. So, maybe I'm supposed to mulligan that. Like, going back to, I'm like, this hand's kind of heavy. Maybe Kolaghan's Command is just bad in the matchup. It doesn't really line up against any of their threats. Like, that's something that I also could have identified during sideboarding. Like, I just don't need 3 Kolaghan's Commands in my deck post-board. That's another thing I could have done differently there. Yeah, definitely mistakes were made, lessons were learned. That's the important part. I have definitely learned a lot about this matchup, and someone with more matchup experience would have fared better than me here. So that is the story, 2 matches in a row. All right, on to the final round. Let's lock up a positive record. On the draw in the final round, playing for that positive record. I'm going to keep this. Got a Channeler and 2 points of interaction. Uh-oh, Wooded Foothills. It's Primeval Titan. Is it time? We've gone this far. Stomping Ground Shadow Spear. What deck does that? Okay, well, I was about to try to decide if I was Inquisitioning or channeling, but drawing Bauble made it easy. I'm actually going to top this. If they have Shadow Spear in their deck, it seems like they probably have creatures to put it on. So Terminate seems like a reasonable thing to include. Their top card is Windswept Heath, by the way. Is this like a Stoneforge Mystic, like Maverick Zoo deck? Is that a thing in this format? It's definitely a Saga deck. Oh, Wrenn and 6. Yeah, that's good. Get fucked, Dragon Rage Channeler. Okay, I'm gonna Inquisition them and then probably bolt Wrenn and 6. Prismatic Ending, Explore. Oh, this is the Titania deck. This is so sweet. Probably want to take the Explore. I don't plan on having a whole lot of permanents in play very quickly here. So definitely Lightning Bolting Wrenn off of Steam Vents. I guess the Dragon Rage Channeler did do the job of getting Wrenn into bolt range, which is an important job. Oh, Saga. Oh, they drew a spell, and it was a good one too. Alright. Unholy Heat. I have 5 card types already? That's cool. Okay, so I'm going to iterate. I have a land drop even if iteration misses on it. So Snapcaster in the hand and Steam Vents, or Steam Vents on the bottom, Bloodstained Mire on the bottom. Does this matter? I guess bottoming Steam Vents and exiling Bloodstained Mire deals 1 damage to me, but also removes an extra card from my deck. Is that true? Did I make that up? It's hard to say. Right, I'm gonna get Basic Mountain, start saving some damage here. 5 card types in the graveyard, get that out of here. I can Terminate Titania. Jeez. Someday I'll have an opponent who just draws normal. Okay, Mishra's Bauble. So I can still kill Wrenn. I'm gonna Bauble, target myself, see if I want to fetch or not. Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, that card is not important to my plan. So I'm going to fetch. Do I want Basic Swamp or Basic Island? Do I just... I guess I don't need Basic anything. I can just Snapcaster, Unholy Heat. I have the Terminate for Titania. Unholy Heat can hit Planeswalkers. This card's really good. Alright, Unholy Heat. Light him up. And then I'm going to fetch. I'll get a Watery Grave and into play tapped. Then pass it. Okay, so that Wrenn and 6 did cost them their ability to make one of the constructs. So Titania is going to be delayed a turn here because Saga will trigger and go away. And making a construct on the way out, sure. Do they get Zurin Orb? I know that's a card this deck plays, but I don't know if they get it right away. Yeah, map makes sense. Just keep getting more things. Okay, so I can remove their permanents from play. I think that drawing Ragavan, I go Unholy Heat, Terminate, dash Ragavan. Seems like a reasonable play to make. Okay, Unholy Heat, Terminate, black red, and then get my Basic Swamp and dash Ragavan here. Dashing Ragavan plays around the Prismatic Ending, and that Titania is a couple turns away at this point. So let's pressure. Let's keep it going. Exiled an Urza Saga from their deck. Hell yeah. Didn't want them to have that. So we're like tentatively ahead right now. They are at 9 life. They've taken some damage from their shocks and stuff. Okay. Another Wrenn. So they'll have to make the choice if they want to hit land drops. Yeah, I thought they might. So hitting a land drop is more important than killing the Snapcaster Mage, especially since I have the Ragavan ready to dash and just pick off Wrenn, and they know it. Okay, so Wrenn can pick up a land next turn. But drown in the lock on Titania? That sounds pretty good. I cast this with dash. So I can dash Ragavan. The treasure token will let me cast Round in the Lock on Titania. And I can put Lurrus in my hand. Alright, I'm going to do that. I think this is the way forward. Like, all of the lands in their graveyard hurt them. Oh, Urza Saga doesn't. I take it back. I lied. The Titania and a mystery card. This card, by the way, I didn't actually zoom in on this. 5/3 elemental for 5. When it ETBs, return target land from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever a land you control dies, make a 5/3. I can drown this in the lock in play or on the stack. I guess I'll let them try to equip the Shadow Spear. I'll eat up the mana. Doesn't hurt either way. So doing it this way, actually, it means they don't get to Expedition Map this turn. So I get to eat up 2 mana for free. Dragon Rage Channeler. So I can play Lurrus. So if they play Titania next turn, they get to rebuy 2 fetch lands, make a bunch of 5/3s. That's not enough. They don't have haste. So I could just go Lurrus, Channeler, Channeler, go. I think that looks pretty good, actually. Lurrus. I could also Mishra's Bauble, dash Ragavan, Channeler off the thing. But oh, if they have a Bajuka Bog in their deck, this line gets absolutely punished. That's actually kind of a big deal. So I think I want to. I should have dashed Ragavan first if I was going to do that. Alright, I am going to do it. So the reason I'm doing this is this puts them to 4. If they want to crack a fetch land, they go to 3, which is Dead to Bolt, which is a card that I have in my deck. And then Mishra's Bauble from the graveyard. Let's have a look at what you're drawing. Ghost Quarter, okay. Dragon Rage Channeler, pick it up. Okay. So if they crack their fetch land, they're dead to Channeler. If I find a Bolt or Snapcaster, so I'm drawing to 7 outs here. And they have to answer the Dragon Rage Channeler. But this Shadow Spear is actually pretty terrifying. But again, they have to crack a fetch land if they want to get that mana. Oh, this is stressful stuff. They play Ghost Quarter. They should Ghost Quarter me first. Okay. I guess they don't get a 5/3 if they Ghost Quarter me first, but that would have saved them the damage. So they get a 5/3. Okay, they can Ghost Quarter their own shit. That's cool. And this still isn't 2 mana to equip Shadow Spear. They're 1 card in hand. It could be Prismatic Ending. Wow, that would suck. Alright, they're passing the turn. Kolaghan's Command. That's good news. I think. Right, none of these have reach, right? 5/3. Alright, I'm gonna take my Dragon Rage Channeler. Has to attack my opponent. They go to 1. And then I can Mishra's Bauble. I gotta look into the graveyard. Bauble. I'm just looking at more of their deck at this point. Dryad of the Elysian Grove is on top. So let's just deal 2 and make them discard a card. Or return target creature, deal 2. It doesn't matter, I'm just dealing 2. I guess it might matter. Like, this is another Scry or Surveil, so if I find Bolt, the Bauble draw, like, if they have some way to not die to this, which seems unlikely, but okay. That was scary. We did still win, though, despite collapsing their hand with a Thoughtseize, and they just, like, runnered insanely relevant spells across the board. Like, that's pretty good, but still beat them. So, Aether Gust, Alpine Moon, Voidwalker. Voidwalker shuts off Titania's trigger. Engineered Explosive clears both elemental tokens and saga tokens. And I don't think I want the rest of this stuff. Ragavan was actually pretty good there, but we saw Knight of the Reliquary, which is a card I'm kind of worried about. Might be boarding this card out too much, but I'm not super worried about it. Unholy Heat was good. I think I can shave on baubles. Like, Heat is... Oh, they did show me Elvish Reclaimer and Knight of the Reliquary, both of which are cards that I'm going to want to answer early. I think Inquisition is a little worse. And I do want Thoughtseize because that can hit Titania. And it seems like I'm either going to win this game or lose it. And the 2 points aren't going to be life and death. All right, this is what I'm going to try. I have an extremely fair hand here, but I am going to keep it. It does work up the curve pretty nice of like Bolt, Elvish Reclaimer, Gust, Knight of the Reliquary, eventually Drown in the Lock stuff. So I don't hate it. I'm going to shock this in and get my Seal of Removal in play. Just invest in the future. I wouldn't have shocked in just in case they play a creature to Bolt, but getting to use my mana right there is pretty nice. Elvish Reclaimer. Alright, that's dead. Bolt this. I don't think they can get 2 lands in their graveyard in response. And then get my Watery Grave into play tapped. It's fine using Watery Grave there. Scalding Tarn can fetch a basic and save me a life at some point. I'm sure this deck does not have Blood Moon in it. Like, pretty freaking sure. But I've been surprised in the past. Alright, the Dryad is kind of scurry. I could Gust this in their draw step. And they lose it for the turn, at least. Yeah, I actually like that. So draw step, Gust. Let's see if we can not get blown out by Veil of Summer here. Okay, Veil of Summer, Dryad is on the top of their library. So that's what they're going to draw next turn. Is it Titania time? They don't have double green. That's nice. Okay, so by the time they have priority to cast their Dryad, Urza's Saga will be in the graveyard. So I can drown it. And, okay, so I can currently... I am going to shock this in so I can play Explosives on 0 and mitigate the constructs. And then I can drown in the lock as well. So constructs are on lock. And then they draw Dryad. But the Saga will be dead before they can play it. Right, so this comes in. And I'm going to Explosives now. Just clear these out before they can tutor up Pithing Needle. I don't know if that's what they would go for. I just don't want to deal with it. Alright, no play there. I do not have Delirium yet. Okay, this lets me wish for Lurrus. I'll take it. Alright, Lurrus in hand. We're getting set up here. Oh, Zuran Orb Flagstones. That's cool. I didn't even notice that was the interaction in play. Yeah, fucking sick. I like it. Dryad. This is getting drowned in the lock. I think I can get Blood Crypt here and just keep my mana perfect. Blue, black. They didn't leave up green for Veil, even if they have it. Then I can Lurrus with Veil back up. Or not Veil, Drown. And I can replay this Explosives on 0. So I'm not just wasting my Lurrus activation. That gets the Zuran Orb and any future... Okay, so do I want to let them kill Lurrus? Or do I want to fight over... Oh, no, I have Seal of Removal, duh. None of the above is the answer. Card's just been in play for so long. Then a counter to Path to Exile. I'll take it. Yeah, I just want to leave up Drown, Snap Drown for their 2 cards in hand. Or they have 3 now, but this should keep a green-white deck at bay for a little while. At least I hope so. Okay, Blackcleave Cliffs is not the land I was looking for. So I can leave up Snapcaster and then Lurrus with... Like, I'm not going to play a Lurrus on a turn where it doesn't generate anything. And if I generate the Seal of Removal, then I don't get to hold up Drown for the turn, so I'm not interested in. Alright, getting Blast Zone up to 2 is fine. Alright, so do I Snap Bolt to start pressuring them? I could also just destroy their Zuran Orb. I don't think I want to destroy Zuran Orb, that doesn't matter. Ooh, Voidwalker, that's a play. So I can play Voidwalker and leave up Drown and Unholy Heat. And if they kill it... Oh, they have Blast Zone, so that actually doesn't even help. Okay, so I go Lurrus and cast Seal of Removal. They didn't play a land in their land deck, so we know that their hand is just 4 spells. And I'm not going to fight over this Lurrus. Like, if it gets into play, I put Seal of Removal on the stack, and they have another Path to Exile, he's gone. I'm not putting my shields down on Drown in the Lock so they can stick Titania and just make 6 5/3s. The explosives do check the 5/3s pretty well, but I'm still not fucking with that. Because the Titania also regrows Urza Saga, which is just a second angle. Okay, they have Endurance in response. That's pretty cool. So that bombs me out. I lose my play, but I still have Lurrus. I can beat a creature. Like, that's not a big deal. Alright, go ahead. Bomb me. Lurrus is in play now. And I still have Drown in the Lock for their important things. Gotta watch out for Endurance countering Drown in the Lock, though. Like, if they bomb themselves with Endurance, that does matter. It also means I don't get to attack with Lurrus. Not gonna fall for that. Prismatic Ending. For exit. Oh, cast with 3 colors. Okay, they did do it the right way. Okay, so counter this. I have the Snapcaster for the next round. I guess they could pitch an Endurance to get rid of my Lurrus, but that's a 3 for 2. Okay, they did do it. Deal. Okay, so Lurrus is gone. My Drown is countered. They smartly stacked it so the Endurance will bottom itself. Alright, you're gone. See you later. Okay, so Kolaghan's command, destroy Zerrinor, make them discard a card. That looks pretty good. I guess I should Voidwalker first, so I get the card that they discard? Or does that matter? I could Snapcaster nothing. So, yeah, I think I do want to Voidwalker first. Unless the card in their hand is Path to Exile, then it's bad to do that. Snapcaster... No, that sounds fine, actually. Alright, so... Voidwalker... Oh wait, I actually want to deal 2 to Endurance and make them discard, then Unholy Heat will finish it off. So, target player yeah, I don't care about Zoran Orb. Target player discards a card, deals 2 to any target. So, choose you discard, deal 2 to you. Kolaghan's command. Bang. They have the Blast Zone, but if they want to sack a land to remove this creature, it's not a big deal. Okay. Finish that off. Now I have a fat graveyard again, Snapcaster Mage in hand. They have to answer this Voidwalker in play. And they can, they have the Blast Zone. They better do it now, though, or else I'm casting Endurance. Alright. They're on the level. Bang. Voidwalker's gone. So is their stuff. Voidwalker and Drown in the Lock is a non-bo, though. Just saying. Okay, so I'm going to stop them in their draw step. I'm going to snap K command, making them discard, and I get my Voidwalker back. Right, Snapcaster. Gotta hope they didn't draw Endurance. Target Kolaghan's command. Kolaghan's command. Return target creature card to your hand. Target player discards a card. Yep. Voidwalker and you. Bam. Oh, we got a Titania. Get out of here. Good money. Good stuff. Alright, now they have Zerrin Orb versus our Voidwalker, Snapcaster, and Aethergust. I don't think there's a reason to hold back this Black Clay of Cliffs. I don't play Liliana, I don't play Faithless Looting, there's no Brainstorm in this format. Yeah, I'm just going to run my land out. Alright, Saga is fine. I have Engineered Explosives to mop that up. Alright, I'm going to hold back on the island just to bluff a little bit. Alright, here comes my 5. They can start making things next turn, and I can play Urza Saga once it's gone, if that's something I want to do. I can tutor up a Bauble. I am not without tutors. Oh yeah, that's the top deck you're looking for in these scrappy situations. So, blue-red. I'm going to put Terminate in my hand, Mountain on the bottom, and exile Scalding Tarn, play Scalding Tarn. I'm going to attack with Voidwalker. I'm not going to let them get a trade off of Snapcaster Mage with a construct that's going to die anyway. Just Voidwalker, let's go. Do have to keep an eye on my life total. I'm at 9 and they do have Valakut in play. I have several answers in my hand to a Dryad of the Elysian Grove still. Just keep an eye on that. Saga triggers. Okay, so they floated green off Saga. I think I want to leave my red mana available. I'm just going to blow this for 0 now. They've already committed to not making another construct. So Zuran Orb gets to sack Saga, which was going to die anyway. That's a cool trick. What's the tutor? Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can draw a card or whatever. It only hits opponents. Yeah, exile each opponent's graveyard. So they can't mess with Drown in the... Or I guess they can mess with... I don't even have Snapcaster. What am I even saying? They can't mess with Drown in Luck if I draw one. So if I let this resolve and they have a land, they can clear my board. What is in exile that could be good here? Endurance, Prismatic Ending. So if I gust this now, or no, I can let it resolve. They can play their land drop, then gust it in response to the Valakut trigger. And if they have a fetch land, they get to do 2 things. Or they just have nothing. Deal. Alright. So I get to terminate Dryad. Yeah. Neither Reliquary is a 2/2. So terminate Dryad. I'm not going to let them do night stuff. I'm going to fetch. I think I'm down to just basics. Yeah, alright. There are very few lands left in my deck at this point. Okay, Bauble, not bad. Get to see what they're going to draw and decide what I want to do with the rest of my turn. Titania is their top card. Okay, that is actually a huge freaking deal. So, is Voidwalker better casting a card or not casting a card here? Probably not. Oh yeah, Titania is just a 5/3 when I'm not also casting cards. So I'm going to see if they want to trade with Snapcaster Mage. Let's see if they'll take that deal. I'm attacking. Here we go. Right, they don't want to trade with Snapcaster. Alright, deal. So they get Knight of the Reliquary. Alright, so I'm redrawing off Bauble. Alright, all the lands are out of my deck now. Titania is in their hand, which is just a 5/3 right now. They have no land to regrow. Cards can't go in their graveyard. Whenever a land you control is put into a graveyard. Okay, that doesn't happen right now. If they activate Knight, I can gust Titania and it's gone either way. Jeez, deck. Alright. I have, in fact, every land that I play right now. So I could play Zuran Orb just to make sure I never die. I could play Endurance, though I think all of these things are worse than simply attacking for 3. So Titania being a 5/3 is kind of brutal. Is the biggest creature there is. Yeah, so Snapcaster's not attacking. Voidwalker is. I can chump Titania for a turn with Snapcaster. Like, we are sort of playing just cat and mouse right now. They're dead in 2 turns to Voidwalker. Okay, cool. This will shuffle away the Titania forever. So even if they put it on top, the shuffle removes it. And they don't get a token on the way out because of Voidwalker. I think that's as good as that's going to get. Alright, yeah, they do have a Bajuka Bog. We identified that a little while ago. Joke's on you. Don't have any cards in my hand anyway. Snapcaster Mage is a rel. So, 1 draw step to rule them all. Alright, they get the backup draw step off Soul Guide Lantern. And then Thoughthy Voidwalker can attack. Put them to 2. Lightning Bolt's lethal. Kolaghan's Command's lethal. Oh, they're just conceding. Don't even want to play it out. This deck was completely insane. The games where I felt like I was playing well, I won. I won some games where I felt like I wasn't playing well. And then the games I lost, you could work backwards and figure out where I could have won them, which I really like. I would rather play a deck where every loss is my fault than like, oh, I just didn't draw enough burn or whatever. Like, this is totally my style of deck, and my advice for anyone wanting to play it is you have to study Modern. Like, you don't sleeve this up and go win a Grand Prix, but if you do your testing, targeted testing against matchups, like get a friend and just play like 20 games against Hammer Time, play 20 games against Amulet, you know, whatever. Like, that's the kind of testing you need to do to really truly understand this deck and the role of every single card in it. And where I succeeded in doing that, I won. And where I failed to do that, I lost. And that is a great place to be in a format as big as Modern. Like, if your losses are your fault, and by hard work, studying, putting in the reps, you can close those holes. I love that. So I think we're going to see a lot of this deck. I don't know if anyone is calling for bans in Modern right now. I hope not. Like, I know the Legacy format is like, some people are having that conversation, but I haven't really heard anything about Modern. I think people like Ragavan and Dragon Rage Channeler in general. So that I think this deck's going to be around for a while, and I like it. So thank you, Spunky, for asking me to play this. I hope everyone enjoyed or learned from the gameplay. There was definitely a lot of lessons learned there, a lot of small mistakes made, and I think I did some things really well too. That, you know, you really get to check your boxes and determine what matters, what doesn't. You can burst with your 1-drops and burn spells. You can settle in with your Lurrus, and this really does feel like Grixis Delver before Lurrus got banned in Legacy, and that deck was really good. So if you can emulate a banned Legacy experience in a smaller format, you should probably consider doing that. So thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to try this deck yourself, try a Card Hoarder membership. Speaking of membership, YouTube membership, hit that join button under the video. You can support the channel directly. Patreon does the same thing. You get some cool perks with both. There is BoshNRoll merch in the video description as well. Thank you all for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.